What's up, people? It's Wolfink here with another Railroads Online video today, and we're going to be making a haul. We're going to be going from the sawmill with beams and lumber. We're going to be taking it all the way to the iron mine. It's going to be known as the Iron Clime, because it is insane. But today we are taking a new locomotive. Everybody meet Jack. Jack, meet everybody. He is a Climax, aka Gramps. Like, this dude is slow, but he's the only locomotive that's completely gear driven. There's no rods on him like Davis. Like, this man is insane, because you have this, the steam pushes this to spin this gear, which then spins that drive shaft, which then it spins all the gears inside to spin the rest of the wheels. So he moves pretty easily. It's just he is slow, but it makes you sit back and enjoy the scenic views. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to loading this, and I will see you guys on the other side. Alright, welcome back, guys. So, I know I loaded that all weird and backwards and stuff like that, but I backed into the sawmill here because of the way that we have to kind of finagle ourselves to get to the iron mine from here. So, it's definitely going to be interesting. I took 4 cars of lumber and 7 cars of beams. That fills the sawmill once, as in like, but it takes it super quick, and it only gives the iron mine like 100, or it only gives it 24, whatever the units are that it's over there. So, and it's either 1 or 2 hopper cars is what essentially this will translate into. So we've got to be taking quite a bit. We have 4 or 5 hopper cars as of right now, which is where Davis is. Davis is up there with those hopper cars, and there's a reason why he's not doing this. It's because he's up there with those hopper cars and we'll use him to move the hopper cars into the siding so we can pull this in over there, and you'll see how we have it done. It's kind of weird. I'll explain on that more once we get there, but I want to talk about the climax here. So this is the inside of the climax, or Jack, aka Gramps. We've got our little roof hatch, which we need because it's going to get hot in here. We've got our water gauge right there. I already topped him off once since I've got him, and that's where he's at, which was right before this. I think that's my generator, and then this right here is my brake gauge, my sanders, my brake, reverser, my cylinder chocks, my regulator. Obviously his tender for his wood and his water right there. We've got his bell over here. And then we've got his whistle. So, and he's got some pretty good spots to sit here and just kind of view the track on. I can't, unfortunately, really quite get up there. It's a little bit too risky, but I'm going to try to do my best here. We don't really have to worry about anything derailing because we're not going to be going fast enough. Like I said, this is kind of where the climax sits. I can turn up the regulator, yeah, but there's a certain point where you're just turning up the regulator too high and it's not really going to be doing anything. So, except you're just adding actual power, not movement speed, which is okay because what he lacks up in speed he makes up for in being able to climb, so, and maneuverability, because with the gears there's no rod slack or whatnot that you're waiting on. Alright, so this switch we're going to go past with the very back car. We're going to flip it, and then we're going to have to back up pretty much like we're going to the logging camp, and then we'll hit our little diamond or triangle over there, which we'll have to switch as we're going through. And that's how we're going to get to the iron mine for right now. It is a little rough, but it's something that works. It gets us there. That's kind of how all railroads start out, as something that gets you there, and then they come back and they tune it, making the lines more efficient later. But today it's not really about efficiency, because I wouldn't be taking the climax if it was. But the climax I need to take up to the iron mine anyways, because that's going to be his domain up there at the iron mine. This is mainly what Davis is going to be used for, is taking the logs and stuff like this up, or not the logs, the lumber and the beams up there to the iron mine, because he can go a little bit quicker since it's a longer jaunt. He's got a little bit more power, but he's got the rod slop, so he's not really great for the iron mine yard. You need something like Jack here to be able to slowly and smoothly move back with no lag, and he'll be perfect for up there, and probably the coal mine too. I'm gonna get another climax eventually and name it Jill, so we can have Jack and Jill. We'll run them tandem. It'll be pretty cool. But as of right now, we have Jack. And then my brother went and bought him a Heisler. So he's got a Heisler. He named it Nancy. So we have Betsy, Nancy, Jack, and Davis are the locomotives that we currently got. Oh, you're gonna need a little bit more steam, huh, bud? Yeah, he is a little bit lighter than Davis, so they do push him a little bit more. Once we get him going, though, I can go ahead and tune him down to a nice cruising pace. Oh, there we go. Okay, we need to... There we go. Alright, let's try to stay on the cars this time. Okay, so we're gonna be going backwards on the main line. This is not a good idea. I know we can handle it, it's gonna be fine, but on a main line, not the greatest idea to be going backwards. But the one nice thing about having to do it this way with the climax is it's with the climax, so we can... the gears. If it was with Heisler, we had a little bit more problems over there. Just a little, because of that slop on the rods. Because he's gear down into the bottom there, and then he powers one, and then he powers the other one with the rods. And that can cause some slop, whereas this one's gear all the way. And don't get me wrong, the Heisler is a nice engine. Yes, it is slow, but it kind of makes you sit back and enjoy the scenery, which is kind of what I want to do today. Just a nice, relaxing ride. Once we get up to the apex of the hill up there, then I'm going to go ahead and hyperlapse. I may hyperlapse a little bit sooner than that. We'll just put it into like a nice little hyperlapse until we get to about to the smelter. The smelter. And then from there, we'll see how it goes. The iron mine is the route up there is a little rocky still, but it can haul this train. It's done it before. And we've made it up there just fine. It's just very interesting. At some points you think you're not going to have enough power to get up the hill. At some points you think you have too much. But it's all a constant grade of 3%, so it's just how it is. Okay, so we're going to have to go down here and switch these switches. The nice thing about having a low-geared locomotive like Jack there is you can come up here and get the switches and not have to worry about touching his throttle. It's great. Okay, so yeah, we don't want to go up it backwards, so we're gonna flip that. This is our diamond for it, or triangle if you would prefer. Yeah, he's still moving. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go back up past this switch, which is thrown perfect. Yep, and that one's good too. We'll back up, and then we'll switch it, and then we'll pull in and go down that way. And this sets us the right way on the track for the way that we want to be going across it. So let me tell you, you do not want to be going down this backwards. It is a rough one. And we fixed the bottom down there where we derailed on the last episode. We fixed it down there, made it a little bit better. That was mainly operator error, not track error. See, he gave us just enough time to get all that done, wait for him to pass, flip the switch, and then we'll be able to flip him and get going. Look at him go. Alrighty. Here we go, folks. Start getting him stopped. Okay. Reverse her forward. give it about 10 to start off with. Release the brake. 2 short bursts for forward. Go ahead and gradually start pulling all that slack out of all those cars, getting it all tensioned up the way we want it. Okay, we might want to put some fire in him. Once we get to this siding, then we'll go ahead and pick up the speed a little bit. Not that we can really go too much more than this anyways, but... And if he gets a little loud, I'm sorry. I know when I went up there by himself, he had to run about 40%, or not 40%. That was when he's come back with empty cars. So we'll see. These are all fully loaded, so we'll have to see what he needs, all of that good stuff. Okay. Alright, everybody coming along. Yeep. Alright. Go ahead and start picking up some speed now. As you can see, he can get very loud. So I'm sorry about that. I'll have to see if I can fix that in editing. But yep, alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start hyperlapsing now, and I will see you guys when we get to the smelter.
bring back.
Alrighty guys, welcome back. How did you enjoy that journey? It's pretty scenic, I think. It's a lot nicer when you have a climax that goes slow. And you can kind of get off, take a look at the couple shots. I did have a few issues fell off. It was fun, nerve-wracking a little bit. But now, as you can see, we are on our way to the Iron Mine. Okay, we gotta start cutting power though, here soon. And I'll explain the Iron Mine layout here to you guys so that way you can kind of understand how we get turned around on it, because it looks very complicated. Alright, so yeah, we gotta really start slowing down because we got Davis and the hopper cars still in the way. She'll get her nice and slowed down now. Which we're already really kind of going slow as it is. Cut power. And then we'll start our braking. Not that much. And we are stopped. Awesome. Alright, so Jack made it up here just perfectly fine. This is going to be his domain. Davis will be doing what he's doing currently, and so he won't be hooked up to the hoppers once we get done with this. But Davis is up here just chugging away. See, we've started getting some iron. This cart is full. So we're going to be moving over to the next one. And the next one, once we get there, we got to pull Davis around. I'll do that here in a little bit. But I want to get to explain this to you guys. Okay, so this is our main line right here. That's the switch I was talking about. That's going to be our return line. For the one that you seen in that spiral that was kind of crossing over with us and we were crossing over it, that back by the smelter back there, that's the return line. So we're gonna have to figure out how to get it hooked back into the main line for a loop. Like I said, we're taking a break on it because it's frustrating us. We kind of came in at the wrong angle. But anyways, this switch over here, you take this will be where the hoppers are stored, down here in this siding. This is a siding. We use this grade right here, this ballast, this form of groundwork here, to make it look like we kind of cut into the mountain edge here and made it flat for the purpose of putting a train here. That's why it's kind of like this. Super nice. I think it looks kind of great. The only problem is there's a sheer drop off because he doesn't have any of the bumpers in here yet, which I hope the dev team does add in eventually or soon, so that way we can just hit the bumper instead of go yeeting off into nothingness down there. But this is where the hoppers are going to be stored, whether they're full or empty. More than likely we're going to store them here until the whole train is full, and then we'll take them off, dump them, and store them right back there so we're not constantly having hoppers in our way. But if you want to get flipped around, imagine you're Davis there. You'll have to hit that switch, come through here, pull up just enough into the siding, flip the switch, and back up onto this track here. Now, once we get here, we're going to hit this switch, which is always going to be flipped that way, because it's kind of pointless. It's kind of like another siding here. But we flip this way, we go down onto the turn top here, the round table, and you'll flip your engine around to where, because you'll be coming in where your back is over here, because you'll have to be backing in. So then you'll flip it to where your back is over here, and your front's pointing that way, so then you'll come along this way. And then you'll meet up with the secondary, or the third siding here. Switch back into it, which this switch, like I said, should always be flipped. And then we'll reach this switch over here, which you're going to have to watch if you go across it. But you pull up onto this decking here, this bridge, and that's how you know that you're clear and you're good to stop, is once you're completely on this. And then you flip the switch, and then you back up, and your cars, these ones, if you're taking these, will be on this line, because you'll have pulled up, sold your stuff, and backed into the siding, uncoupled, and pulled up to where Davis was and went through the way that I just showed you. And then you'll be backing into here. You'll hook up to the cars on this side. Then you'll have to flip the switch down there, but you'll back these out to the main line again, to where all these dudes are sitting. And right where the hoppers are sitting, the switch that they're sitting on. Right there, you'll back out, you'll flip that switch, and then you start going straight, and you're headed back down the mountain again, with going the right direction with the load behind you. So it's kind of sweet. It was really complicated for me to come up with, and I could have just used this line and made it a little bit less complicated, but this line just was there, and now it's storage in case we want to keep hoppers there or whatever else we want to keep there, or we want to store trains or whatever. So it kind of makes it nice. But like I said, we are going to finish at some point that return line, so then you'll just be able to come straight in and head on out down to the smelter again, rather than having to do all this flipping around and stuff. But as it is right now, that's what we have, and it's gonna stay once we do get the return line, just in case like that line where it's under construction for whatever reason, or whatever, and we still want to make loads, we can do it that way. But as of right now, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked the video for more content, and I will see you guys in the next one.